Stay hungry, stay foolish.
Zest equates to zing, enthusiasm, energy, gusto, eagerness, zeal, and fervour. It also suggests a tang, a sharpness. It's the opposite of bland. Today's book, called Zest, is not just a book on personal development. There are an awful lot of those out there. Zest is a catalyst. It drives you to rethink, rejuvenate, and reinvent. If only there was a way to unearth your passions, recover the zest for life you once had. Maybe there is. Zest is a wake-up call for you to explore the formative moments that define your life. It challenges you to believe that your best days are still ahead, to search your soul, to shake things up and bask in the warmth of glorious individuality. We welcome the author of Zest, How to Squeeze the Max Out of Life, Andy Cope. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me, fella. Thank you very much. I'm a big fan, by the way. Since I found out I've been on the podcast, I've been binge listening. So you've had some cracking guests.
Thanks a million, man. And you give us a real wake-up call at the start of the book. And I love this because we often take this for granted. We only have 29,000 days on average on the earth, which is only 4,000 weeks. And that puts a hell of a lot of things in perspective.
Doesn't it just, mate? Do you know what? I mean, we run sessions around Zest and the art of being brilliant and keynote talks and stuff like that in businesses and in schools. And if I stand in a primary school and I announce to the kids, you've got about 4,000 weeks, there's a huge round of applause and they're cheering and high-fiving each other. It's like the best news in the world. But if I announce that exact same statistic to a corporate audience, there's a sort of tumbleweed moment. There's less punching of the air and more of a collective gulp. Is it even true? And some people working out how many they've got left. And I think really we're back to the point about Zest is a wake-up call, really. I describe it a bit like, I can't remember what it's called. You know, when your heart stops and you go to hospital and they put, stand back, clear, and they go, bzz, it's like buzzing you back into life, really. A wake-up call, a reminder, in a nice, gentle and humorous way.
And one of the ways you guide us to remind ourselves of who we used to be, you, throughout the book, pose these questions that we ask ourselves. And one of them is, what is true about yourself today that would make your 8-year-old self cry?
I think that's a really cool question, but it's essentially, we describe Zest. In fact, a lot of the personal development stuff that we write is not personal development. Okay, it's what we call personal remembering. Because I think if you get back to when you were 8, you know, when did jumping in puddles become a bad idea in your life? Because I think I've spent 12 years getting a PhD at Loughborough University, looking at the science of human flourishing. And most of what I found was stuff that I already knew when I was 8, but I forgot. So all it is a gentle reminder. Maybe it's no new stuff in happiness. Maybe well-being is already there. We just need to remember about how to be our best selves.
You studied psychology and you noticed that most of the study of psychology is studying sickness, and you wanted to flip that around. Let's share with our audience the idea of the 2%ers.
Yeah, the 2%ers. Okay, I describe it. It's a little bit like the difference between change and transformation. So just hang in there, right? So imagine if you lived in an egg, then you could be really, really busy in your egg. You could spend your 4,000 weeks in your egg, painting it, decorating it, putting a new kitchen in your egg, and being genuinely really, really busy in your egg. And that's changed. There's a lot of people in their egg. Transformation is about hatching. So it's about kind of hatching into this bright, fantastic world that's out there, this full colour, dynamic world that's out there that most people never get to see because they're so busy in their egg. Now, transformation for me can happen on a personal level and it can happen to an entire subject area. So I studied psychology, traditional strands of psychology back in the day, back in the 80s, and psychology was 100% about ill people. So I spent 3 years at uni. I've learned about phobias, disorders, anxiety, depression, paranoia, schizophrenia. Every single lecture that I ever attended as a psychology student was named after an illness. And it never crossed my mind at the time, but there wasn't a single lecture on well-being or human flourishing or strengths or passion. It's almost like the positive stuff didn't exist. And then in 2005, I went to Loughborough Uni and I decided to completely flip it on its head. The whole transformation thing, let's break out of the egg. Psychology as a subject needs to think differently. We know nothing about the handful of people in your life that I call the 2%ers, because you can count them on the fingers of probably 2 fingers. The people in your life who are genuinely upbeat, full of energy, full of passion and hope and optimism. They've got a smile on their face and a spring in their step. The psychology, for 130 years since psychology was invented as a subject, has never, ever taken those people and studied them, because they're not ill, basically. They're not ill. So the psychology profession would say, why would we study happy people? Because they're not ill. And I decided to flip the coin and say, well, why aren't they ill? Let's study them, find out what they're doing that makes them flourish. And maybe then we can take on some of the stuff that they're doing so the rest of us don't have to be ill either.
Yeah, I love that. And you give us lots of wake-up calls at the start of the book, and I'd like to share some of these wake-up calls. One of them, you mentioned it's a young people problem, if you call it a problem, but that they watch 9 hours of screens per day, and that equates to 30 years of an 80-year life. Now, that puts things in perspective, because most people I meet will say they don't have time to read or they don't have time to explore a passion, etc. But when you're spending 9 hours on screens every day, whether it's YouTube or social media or watching Netflix, binge watching, that's a lot of time. And you give us this wake-up call, which really does bring things to life.
Well, mate, everybody's infected with busyness. So busyness. That's the modern world for you. We're all rushing around, too many things to do, not enough time to do it. And our argument really is maybe we're just busy doing the wrong things. You'll know that the mental health stats are going the wrong way, fella. I do work in schools now. So it used to be mental ill health was an adult thing. So you'd be diagnosed with depression. And now it's coming down the age groups. If I go into a British primary school, there's kids falling over with anxiety and panic attacks at much earlier ages now. And you look at social media, we're busy doing the wrong things. Social media, we think, makes us connected, yet the stats for loneliness have gone through the roof. You might have 1,000 Facebook friends, but the one real flesh and blood friend who you can go and have a beer with and talk about things, that's what we need more of. So less social media, less fake friends and more real friends.
And another challenge brought to life a little bit more by social media is comparisonitis.
Comparisonitis. I mean, we're all guilty. I'm guilty. I bet you're guilty, mate. You go on Facebook or you go on your social media and you scroll through people's lives. And what you don't really twig is that that's the highlight of their lives. That's the best bits of their lives they're putting online. And you compare their best bits with your mundane life. A lady said to me the other day, I did a course. She go, my life is like a roller coaster, she said. And on the way home, I thought about that. I thought, well, I know what she means. She means she has lots of ups and lots of downs and lots of twisty turny stuff. But I thought, is that actually a correct analogy in the modern world? Because my life isn't like a roller coaster, mate. Mine's a bit like queuing for the roller coaster. I spend a lot of time not doing very much or in mundane things. It's not all looping the loop and twisty turning. My life does have exciting bits, but there's an awful lot of mundane stuff that you have to get through. And really what Zest is about trying to find different ways of thinking and different ways of behaving, and the version of you that deals with the mundane and the exciting bits, and it's bring your best self forward, really. I mean, it's quite a simple concept. I know loads of other people have written about it as well. We call it deja vu. It's the same old bull. And I've written lots of books as well. I'm guilty of that as well. So we wanted to write something that was, like I say, got a humorous core, but it's so not funny, right? Because it is about everybody listening to this. Wakey, 4,000 weeks. We talk about life being a present. Don't send it back unwrapped.
Yeah, I love that. And there's an analogy I loved here that you use in the book around the China tea set. So imagine you buy this China tea set from a local charity shop, someone's pride and joy, hardly used, and you pay $10 for it.
Oh, mate. Well, Will, my co-author, wrote that, but I can bring that very, very close to home with my own grandma, right? So my own grandma, who's no longer with us, she had in her kitchen a glass cabinet with her special tea set in it, mate, right? And I think in my life with my grandma, she brought that special China tea set out probably 6 or 7 times. She was waiting for the perfect guest or royalty or God knows who she was waiting for, mate, 6 times. And then we kind of inherit it off her as an absolutely pristine. So when that alludes to something we call destination addiction, which means we're kind of waiting for a special occasion to be happy. I'll be happy on Friday. I'll be happy next year. I'll be happy when I get married. I'll be happy when I get divorced. I'll be happy when I retire. And I want that tea set to be cracked and chipped. I want to use it every single day because my thing is life is the ultimate special occasion. Yeah. So stop waiting for something amazing and start to be amazing. Maybe that's the catchphrase we should have used.
The one place I see this a lot of is homes. So people's homes, pride and joy for people, which is fine. But when you have children, you got to let them use the bloody house. Like I let them build forts and spaceships out of the couches, and my wife would come in and go, "What are you doing?" And the couches would be all over the place. But like, I'm kind of going, well, that's what DFS is for. Buy a cheap couch and let the kids wreck it, and then get one when they've evolved and they've moved out of the house.
Yeah, but mate, when your kids are 40 and 45, they will look back on their childhood with really fond memories. They are the best times, aren't they? They are the best times. The time we built a den, or the time we went sledging, or the time, simple pleasures. Well, young people particularly are associating very, very strongly. They associate happiness with money. Like, that is a really, really strong. If I, in a secondary school, if I say to 400 teenagers, who wants to be happy, I'll get a kind of grunt and half a dozen hands will go up. If I say who wants to be rich, then I'll get 400 hands in the air. Yeah, I want to be rich. How do I do that? So we're back to the point of chasing the wrong things. And I think when you get a little bit older, when you get old like me in my 50s, then you look back on your childhood and you look back, if everybody listening to this got a pen and paper and wrote down the top 10 happiest moments of your entire life, then I'm fairly sure that there won't be a single product on there. It will be experiences that you've done with people that you love. Probably with no Wi-Fi either. Very, very simple things like building a den out of cushions in your lounge on a rainy day.
So let's jump into some of the solutions. And you talk about the cool rules, cool with a K to make it even cooler. Let's share some of those cool rules.
That was from Kool and the Gang. His name wasn't even Cool. I think that's in the book somewhere, yeah. Well, I particularly like the concept of the sausage machine, which we have blatantly stolen off Richard Wilkins. And if I just tell your listeners very quickly, imagine a sausage machine, right? So you've got a sausage machine in front of you. You've got the ingredients that go in at one end. You turn a wheel and your sausages are going to come out the other end. So, right, Aidan, it's not a trick question, but if you wanted pork sausages, what would you put in your sausage machine?
Pork.
Oh, good answer, mate. Good answer. You put piggies in there. If you wanted vegetarian sausages, what would you put in your sausage machine?
Bit of tofu.
Yeah, good lad. Yeah, but some people sometimes say vegetarians, which is interesting. But if you wanted pork sausages, you wouldn't put vegetables in because that just wouldn't work. Okay, so if you then just take exactly the same concept and apply it to those pesky 4,000 weeks that we've been talking about, and you imagine that life is now a sausage machine, your 4,000 weeks is there in a big vat in front of you, and once again at the one end we can put the ingredients of life in. We can turn the wheel and life is going to come out. The day-to-day stuff, every single day you're going to get another sausage of life. So the simple question is, if you wanted a brilliant life, okay, what would you going to put in? If you wanted, or for example, more specifically, if you wanted, for example, to be more confident in your life, what would you need to put in your sausage machine of life? And it would be confidence. If you wanted to be more positive, you would need to put positivity in. And all we're finding really is that far too many people are standing at the wrong end of the sausage machine of life, right? So they're at the results end. They're waiting and waiting and waiting for a brilliant day, or waiting for life to become amazing. And these 2%ers, these very rare people who've got that spring in their step, they're at the ingredients end of life. So they point the finger back at themselves, and I guess it's personal responsibility. They ask the question, what am I going to do to guarantee a brilliant result at the other end? And quite frankly, mate, I used to share an office, classic example, I used to share an office with a lady called Michelle, right? And Michelle's a lovely human being. She's a perfectly nice person, but her catchphrase was nightmare. So I say, hi, Michelle, how was your weekend? Oh, it was a nightmare. The weather's a nightmare. The phone's ringing, it's a nightmare. And eventually, you know, she's putting nightmare and she's getting nightmare out. And believe it or not, once eventually she got married. They had a little boy called Joshua, and I went around her house to give her a sort of prezi and a little outfit for Josh. And I said, I cannot believe we've worked all these years and now you're a mum. And she looked at little Josh, fast asleep in her arms, and go, oh no, nightmare. and I don't know what Josh's first word was, but I could hazard a guess. Now, she's not a horrible person. She's a lovely human being. She is just putting the wrong ingredients into life. And life for her was a drudgery. Mondays were bad, Fridays were good. It's all these learned behaviors. And we're trying to unlearn those and reprogram in at a different level. But if you basically, mate, it's your life, it's your ingredients. You can put whatever you want in. You can put can't be asked, having a nightmare, low energy, negativity, and that's fine. That's your choice. But you're going to not get great sausages out the other end. Or you can flip it and say, do you know what? Let's make 2020s the best decade of my life. And for you to do that, what ingredients are you going to have to put in? And if I was hazard a guess, it will be confidence and optimism and passion and purpose and happiness. If you stick those in, I'm fairly sure that your life will be a whole lot better.
Yeah, and one of the ingredients you say to avoid is news. So I fully agree with you with this. So much of the news is negative news, and even social media, and even as we talked about earlier, comparisonitis. We're comparing ourselves the whole time, and they're the wrong ingredients to be putting in. So put in good information, put in good data, so you get good data out.
Mate, I mean, I know that you get this, Aidan. I love it that you're kind of indoctrinated into this way of thinking. You probably were from your rugby days, I would imagine. But how many people do you look around and they're just not doing the right things. They're just putting the wrong ingredients in. I mean, the news is one of the things I looked at in my PhD is I think something like if you just stop reading the local newspaper, you'll be 7% happier straight away. So actually less news. I'm not saying no news. You need to know what's going on in the world vaguely, but sitting in front of the TV news, shouting at the TV, that is not a good ingredient for happiness. It's another example of us doing the wrong things over and over again. And we are quite often creating the negativity or magnifying it. I mean, what is the news? The news is hotspots from around the world that have gone dreadfully wrong. That's basically it, piped into your living room 24/7. The news doesn't report on happiness. The news doesn't report on all the traffic jams that aren't there or the trains that run on time, does it?
And actually, one of the things you talked about here is plot twists. So plot twists are coming no matter what. And what we tend to do with a plot twist when it's a negative one, and you talked earlier on about the roller coaster, is when it's low, we come home and we offload on the people closest to us. And we actually create them into a negative mirror. And I loved what you said here. We pebble dash them with emotional diarrhea.
Well, you do think about it. How many people listening to this when you get home and how was your day? Oh, don't talk to me about my day. What a meeting and back-to-back meetings. It's all been a nightmare. And what you don't realize is, well, actually, has it been an entire nightmare, or is it just 5 minutes that's gone wrong that you're moaning about? Most of your day will probably have gone brilliantly well, but you're just not sharing that with the people you love. If you cut 80% of your low-level grumbling, then you feel just so much better. Most of what you moan about is first world problems, and quite frankly, nobody's really listening. So the traffic and the weather and the late trains and all that kind of stuff, and we end up saving that for the people we love. And if you just stop moaning, cut out 80% of your low-level grumbling, you will feel amazing. So somebody had a go at me. Yes, but a problem shared is a problem halved, she said. And I said, well, is it? How have you halved it? You've just doubled it, haven't you? How is you going into work moaning about not the lack of car parking spaces in the car park? How was that halved the problem? You've just spread it to about 10 people in the office. So actually, you will feel a whole lot better if you don't grumble, but the people around you will also feel a whole lot better. My PhD is what we call flourishing. So I've not really been looking at happiness per se, but I spent 12 years seeking out happy people, following them around, working out why they're so happy. And the 2%ers that you've mentioned a couple of times, they are flourishing. And flourishing, very crucially, is when your happiness is bigger than you. There will be that handful of people in your life who, when they're in the room, you feel great as well. And it's this emotional contagion that really, really does it for me. Because essentially, when you're having a fabulous day, that will leak out of you and reach 3 degrees of people removed from you. Take you as an example, because you've got 2 kids, yeah? So if you get out of bed in the morning, mate, with a smile on your face, bit of gratitude, got some music on when the kids come down for breakfast, and you're serving the Cheerios with a smile on the face, then that means your kids will be a minimum of 16% happier just because you're in their life, all right? So with very little effort, your happiness is transmitted to your kids. So then your kids walk off to school and they're 16% happier. They might say hi to the teacher and a big smile to the teacher and be a pleasure to have in class. So your teacher is now happier by a minimum of 10%. Now, you've not met your kid's teacher, but she's benefiting from your happiness. But it doesn't end there. Your teacher then has a great day because your lads are in her class, and the teacher goes home and she interacts with her own family, who are then 6% happier because your lads are in her class. Now, you've not met your children's teacher and you've not met the teacher's family, but that's your happiness leaking out of you, creating a ripple of positivity. If you can't be asked to up your game for yourself, do it for the people around you.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that analogy of the mirror, because it just mirrors back to you, and then, as you say in the book, creates your reality. So your reality becomes that.
Can we just go a bit deep, mate? Can we go a bit deep? The problem with me, fella, I'm really enthusiastic. I know some stuff that really works that your listeners will love. And then I know some stuff that's a bit weird. It's not everybody's cup of tea. But if we give it a go, we are confused, I think, about where our feelings come from. And this is really big, right? So if you're listening to this in the car, just turn it up and concentrate, right? So how it works is we really, really think that the external world is making us feel in a certain way. So as a Brit, right, it really makes me feel that Brexit is upsetting me, or it makes me really feel like that when it's drizzling on a Monday, that's getting me down. And I really, really believe that when the news is on, I get angry. Or when somebody cuts up in the traffic, that is going to annoy me. And it absolutely 100% seems like the external world is creating your feelings. But it isn't. And let me give you an example from Zest, from the book. And it goes back many, many years ago now, where we went on holiday to North Devon. And it was one of those rainy weeks in a British seaside holiday. So we went to a place called Ilfracombe, and my kids were tiny. So Sophie was about 6, Ollie would have been about 2. And we had to kill off a day while it was raining. So we went around the shops. They got a couple of pounds each, which was a lot of money to them in those days. And they got to choose, they could choose whatever they wanted. And Sophie, my daughter, paid £2 for a tiny little sort of pink cloth rabbity thing. I can't remember what it was now, but she called it Pinky, right? So it's about 6 inches tall. It's a little cuddly toy full of beans. And Pinky, at age Soph, Pinky became Sophie's go-to toy. So, and you've got kids, so you understand that Pinky went to sleep with Soph. Pinky actually went in her backpack to school. Pinky actually went to university with Soph later on as well. So Pinky was her go-to toy. And over the years, he got a bit grubby and a bit worn, but she absolutely loved Pinky. Now, if I took Pinky and a scalpel and I slit that toy down the middle and opened it up, right, then I'm telling you right now that Pinky contains no love. All right. In fact, Pinky contains beads. It is made of a material probably made in a factory in China. Pinky contains no love. So therefore, what that means, and I know it's slightly weird, 100% of my daughter's love for Pinky was coming from within my daughter. I mean, 100%, right? Now, so I know it doesn't seem like that, but that's the way it is. Now, as adults, we just get adult Pinkies. So we really feels like that your anger is coming from the person who cut you up in the traffic. It genuinely feels like your new shoes are making you feel happy. It absolutely hook, line and sinker feels like your bad haircut is ruining your day. When, of course, what we're really saying is that can't ever be the case. The world is pretty neutral until you apply some thinking to it. So every single feeling that you have ever experienced and will ever experience is generated from inside you. And that inside out thinking is fascinating for me. I'm only on the edges of understanding it at the moment. It's not a clever thing. It's an insight. But once you get it, what you realize is a lot of your stress will fall away because you are creating it yourself. The world isn't doing anything to you. You are doing it entirely to yourself.
One of the cool rules is that bad things happen just not as often as we think. And it made me think about philosopher Alan Watts, British philosopher who I love his work. And he used to say that we need rocks in life because think of soil without rocks, it would just collapse, it would sink. And rocks give us foundation. So we need the bad to appreciate the good. And it got me thinking about the story you shared in here about asking kids, what are they happy that hasn't happened yet? And if we think about that, celebrating the bad things that never happened to us. And I loved the case here of the 6-year-old and the demonic ventriloquist dummy.
Oh, mate, can I just share that with your listeners? I mean, by the way, Alan Watts, wow. If you're reading Alan Watts and you're watching him, everybody, if you're of this way of thinking, if you like the Pinky story, then Alan Watts will tell that a whole lot better than I do. But what in the book, it says, what hasn't happened that you didn't want the celebrated? Which is like a bonkers question. What hasn't? You won't understand it for a while. What hasn't happened that you didn't want the celebrated? And I asked once again a bunch of school kids that. It was in Jersey actually, at the Opera House there doing the Jersey Book Festival. About 600 kids. What hasn't happened you didn't want the celebrated? So a hand went up from a little lad, probably about 6 years old. So the microphone went over to him. I said, what hasn't happened that you didn't want the celebrated? He put his hand up, deadpan. He said, I haven't been murdered in cold blood by a ventriloquist dummy wearing a clown costume. Right? So of course I'm like, that is the most amazing answer ever. I said, did you want to be murdered? Of course I didn't, he said, especially not by a ventriloquist dummy because I found them particularly scary. But he said, what I've learned today, Andy, is that I'm going to celebrate that every single day. So I'm imagining this little lad coming down for breakfast every day with a smile on his face, announcing to his mum, woohoo, I'm still alive. I've not been taken out in the night by a demonic dummy. And then, in a similar vein, a little girl over the other side of the auditorium puts her hand up. Microphone makes its way to her. What hasn't happened? You didn't want, you haven't celebrated. She said, I went to the toilet this morning and there wasn't a crocodile in it. And it's a genius of kids, mate, because I said, did you want there to be a crocodile? Of course I didn't. She said, it would have bitten my bottom. But what I'm going to do every time I flush is celebrate no crocodiles. Now, I know that that's weird. And kids do it better than adults, actually. They're more creative. But really, what we're saying is your brain is organized in the exact opposite way. Your brain is programmed as a problem-spotting machine. That's why one bad driver ruins your entire commute. One angry customer ruins your entire day. But there's a lot of bad stuff that's not happening, and it's hard for your brain to celebrate some stuff that hasn't happened. But by retraining your thinking, you can become one of these 2%ers. In fact, that's a really interesting point about being one of these really upbeat, happy, positive people, is that it's pretty much a learned behavior. They're not there by accident. And after 12 years of interviewing happy people, is they've got strategies, mate. I mean, some of which we're kind of covering now. They do things differently in their head. They live in exactly the same world there. That's another point, isn't it? That they get cut up in the traffic, that Brexit's happening to them. It rains on happy people as well. But they have this fantastic ability to think differently about those situations.
Let's get into the bit of the sciencey bit, as you call it. And this is your expertise in the book. And my favorite part, by the way. And one of the rules you share here is the 50-40-10 rule.
50-40-10 basically means that your happiness is like a pie. Describe it like a pie. 50% of whether you're likely to be happy and positive is genetics. So you look at your mum and dad. If they're smilers, you've got a good starting point, right? 10% is about the external circumstances around you. So whether you're married, what kind of job you've got, the kind of weather, the things that are happening outside of you will also determine the kind of happiness you're feeling. But 40% of your happiness, of that happiness pie, is down to the intentional strategies that you've got in your head. Now, actually, in my PhD, I do put the boot into that whole thing and suggest, because that's what other academics are arguing. And I would argue that actually that 40% is very, very underestimated. I know from experience that you can definitely learn to retrain your thinking to give yourself a whole more positive outlook, but without being overly happy clappy. We're trying to avoid, you coming into work all Janshausen's on a Monday going, woohoo, don't those weekends drag? Somebody's going to, you're going to get bullied for that. So we don't want to overly happy. So it's something that I looked at in my research was you can be too happy. And if you're annoying people, I call them grinagog. Grinagog is somebody who's inanely overly cheery. You just want to punch them. So I think if you got to that level, you're overdoing it. So it's just getting your positivity to the right level so that you raise the emotional tone of the people around you. That's flourishing when it leaks out of you, not just for the benefit of you, but for those closest to you as well.
Great. And a term that you coined is metanoia. And I loved your example of the Swedish speed lottery.
Metanoia is like flipping your thinking and rethinking how you think, essentially. And in Sweden, they did this experiment where the normal speed camera, everybody who was under the limit got put into a lottery, and everybody who was over the limit got a fine as normal, but the fines went into the pot. So if you were driving carefully under the limit, then you got a chance of winning a prize. And guess what? It worked. People deliberately slowed down with those speed cameras because they wanted to be in the lottery.
Later on, you talk about some of the habits of the 2%ers. Let's get into that, actually. And this one teases us up nicely for habit number 7, which is commitment. And this is where so many fall down. And personally, I have a mantra which probably comes from sport, which is your why must be bigger than your try, or your excuses will be. And I often thought about it in sport is that you can play through injuries. Like you might torn your calf. Sometimes it was breaks, broke my arm once, and you play on. And because your mission is so critical that you don't even feel the pain.
It's a great example, isn't it? In rugby is full of those examples. But I think in everyday life, so a teacher, it's that last lesson on a Friday afternoon, because you've got to be as good on a Friday afternoon as you're on a Monday morning. It takes me somewhere, actually, mate. It takes me to sleep. That's another thing. I'm kind of look. I know there's a lot of research out there now on sleep, but if there was a magic tablet, if there's a magic pill that you could take that would alleviate 80% of mental ill health, and sleep was in a tablet form, then it would cure just about everything. If you get your 8 hours, right, you are so much more useful to the modern world, right? Because you do need sleep, but sleeping is cheating. We're brought up, I'll sleep when I'm dead. And actually, if you don't sleep, you'll be dead a whole lot quicker. That's what the research is saying. There was, I think it's a University of Warwick study. They equated, if you can get your 8 hours of sleep regularly, then that's worth £200,000 of happiness to you every year. So it's like, if they can, I mean, it's a really difficult thing to quantify, but that's pretty much what it's worth. It's like winning a lottery, mate. So if everybody listening to this, just treat yourself to an extra hour's sleep tonight, treat your body to that and your brain to that. It'll thank you for it.
And it's one of these 7 keystone habits. And one of the great keystone habits you talk about is the daily. I absolutely love this one.
For the listeners who don't know a guy called Daley Thompson, in the 1980s, he was the British decathlete. He was world champion, Olympic champion twice, I think. And legend has it that, and he was really, really good at 9 of the events. And he was really, really bad at the 1500 meters, which was the last event. And legend has it that he never, ever practiced the 1500 meters. He just completely ignored it. His only aim was to get round without falling over. And he's a double Olympic champion. But he focused his effort and his time on the 9 things he was already good at. So it brings us round to strengths, really. But if he was in the corporate world, mate, and he went in for his appraisal, and they'd look at all his 9 good things, and yeah, really good at those, but daily you've got to work on your 1500. They would put him on a course to improve his 1500, and he probably would have never won a gold medal or ever at all, because he would be totally focused on pulling his socks up on what he's rubbish at. And there are some things, I think I've certainly got things in my life that I'm absolutely hopeless at, and I need to make sure that I am competent at them, but I'm never going to excel at them. So what I'm better off doing, and what your listeners are better off doing, is investing some time and effort and money in areas where there's already a natural strength. Once again, sounds obvious, but corporately, most organizations are still sending people on courses to eliminate their weaknesses.
It's stuff like, for example, you have a creative person and they're forced to work in Excel, or they're forced to come up with financial projections, stuff that they absolutely hate, and they'll drag for a long time, and it just drains the rest of their world away. That's the whole idea of an organization. You shore up the weaknesses with diversity of skill sets, diversity of thinking, etc. But I wanted to get back to one thing, which is compassion fatigue. And there's a saying I love, and it's attributed to Benjamin Franklin. You probably heard this: the taste of the roast is determined by the handshake of the host. And I always take that to mean that it's not just what you do, it's how you do things that absolutely makes a huge impact.
We call it to-do list and your to-be list. So everybody generally is preoccupied with busyness. So we're rushing through life trying to tick things off our to-do list. And in the modern world, you've got too many things. Your to-do list runs to 2 pages of stuff, and you're never going to tick all those off. I get that. I understand that. That causes people a lot of stress, leaving things unticked on their to-do list. But really where Zest is coming from is 1,000 times bigger. It's what we call your to-be list. Because your to-be list is what you just said there. Your to-be list is quite brave. It requires a degree of courage and honesty to point the finger back at yourself and say, okay, honestly, and I mean honestly, who am I being while I'm doing those things on my list? And that's a big question, right? Am I being world-class? Am I being full of positivity and optimism? Or am I being a bit ground down by a drizzly day? Because if you can get your to-be list right, so if you can step into being your best self on a more consistent basis, sometimes against the odds, but if you can do that, then a lot more things will get ticked on your to-do list because you're just damn sight more productive. And ultimately, if we started with those 4,000 weeks, let's nip back there. At the end of your 4,000 weeks, Aidan, so when you've used all yours up, I'll tell you what's going to happen. There's going to be a bit of a do with some sandwiches and some cups of tea, and probably some Guinness in your case. Yeah. Now you're not going to be there to listen to the conversations, but the conversations are 100% about you on that day. And I know you've done some stuff, but those conversations on that day won't be about that. It'll be about who you've been while you've been doing that stuff. So this is not trivial stuff. This is massive. It's stepping into being the best version of you.
You've studied this, happiness, but also longevity. And it'd be great to share some of the reasons some people live much happier lives, much longer lives, etc.
Yeah, there's 2 places in particular, Okinawa, which is a Japanese island, and I think Sardinia in Italy. If you look at longevity, they have so many more centurions, so many more people living to over 100. And off the top of my head, I can't remember them all, but what the ones I like are Harahachi-bu, right? So that's a Japanese saying. It's a mantra that they say in Okinawa before they start eating. And Hara Hachibu basically means I'm going to stop eating just before I'm full. So they actually, before they pick up their chopsticks, they say, "How do you do? I'm going to stop eating just before I'm full." And now I don't know about your house, mate, but in our house we don't stop eating till it hurts, and we know that's wrong, and we're trying to get harahachibu. The other thing they do is that they belong to an extended family quite often. So they don't put grandma and granddad in a home. They accommodate them in an extended family. And the other one that I really like is that they stay active. So in Sardinia and in Okinawa, you're much more likely to see the old dear, cycling to the shops at age 89, 90. Yeah, and I just think that staying active, it keeps your brain healthy, and stop eating just before you're full. So don't pig out, essentially eating sensibly.
You talked about who do you want to be, but you gave a very simple exercise of 3 breaths that you take at any period throughout the day as a way of resetting and reminding yourself of the important things.
I'm just come back from 3 months in India, by the way, when I went up into the Himalayas and lived in a monastery. Maybe that's another podcast for another day, to learn about mindfulness and meditation. And I hated it. Actually, I hated it because I don't need to sit for 6 weeks with my legs crossed chanting mantras to be happy. But what I did learn was about breathing better. And so there's all sorts of different types of breathing, but I think meditative breathing, it's if you just did it 3 times a day, all it is you stop wherever you are, just stop, focus on the moment. And it's a big breath in as far as you can, and then you hold it just for a second, and then on the out breath, you think maybe about how you feel right now. And then it's the second massive intake of breath, oxygenating your whole body, and you think about what kind of attitude or state do you want would serve you well. And then on the third big breath, where your oxygen will be really pumping around your body, you should feel a little lightheaded. On the out breath of the third one is gratitude. What have you got to be grateful for in your life right now? And if everybody just stopped and did those 3 big breaths 3 times a day, then it just stops you rushing around and puts you in the moment. All you've got is the present moment. Your entire life, and everybody's entire life who's listening to this podcast, your entire life is lived in the present moment. So you've only got now. So all your history, all the past that you've got, all those memories can only be accessed from this present moment. And all the future, the dreams, the holiday in the future, the plans you might have, the future doesn't exist in mindfulness, because when you get to the future, that will also be your present moment. Now, of course, what the modern world is very good at is making you impatient with the present moment, or upset or anxious with this present moment, because there might be a better moment coming soon. And what mindfulness does is make you realize actually you've never, ever, ever got anything other than the present moment. So by taking those breaths, it puts you more in the now. And I promise you, mate, and I think you understand this anyway, but for all the other listeners, is that if now is all you've got, then falling in love with the present moment is actually falling in love with life itself.
I thought a lovely way to finish was a beautiful Latin expression that you share right at the end of the book, which is materium superabat opus, which means the workmanship is better than the material. I absolutely love this as a mantra for life.
Well, I think we're dealt a certain set of cards in our life, aren't we? And how you play those cards is up to you, really. And I think that what I've learned over the last 15, nearly 20 years now of studying positive psychology is that by putting a little bit of effort into me and my attitude particularly, then what I do is that over time, and all these things we've spoken about, what hasn't happened, you didn't want, you haven't celebrated, all that kind of slightly weird stuff, is over time it rewires your thinking and it rewires your habits. And ultimately what Zest is about is getting you into those really, really good habits, whether it's sleeping well, eating well, doesn't really matter. It's all the same thing. It's about being the better version of you.
And Andy, where can people find out more about your work, the art of brilliance, etc.?
Yeah, well, our website is artofbrilliance.co.uk. We also do brilliant.schools. So we are now trying to put wellbeing on the syllabus, and we're about to launch a schools package where schools can access really high quality wellbeing resources. So children and the teachers and in fact the parents can learn this stuff as well.
Author of Zest, How to Squeeze the Max Out of Life, Andy Cope, thank you for joining us.
It's been a pleasure, Aidan. Thanks for having me.